everybody, it's Kristin, and I have another 4 Looks 1 palette for you. I realized I just did one of these not that long ago, but I grabbed for this palette, and I created a look, and I was like, you know what, I really like this. I think I'm going to start a 4 Looks 1 palette with it. So this palette actually was sent, not this one exact, I have a palette just like this that was sent to me by Sleek Cosmetics, and this is the Sleek Storm palette. So this is what it looks like. And this is one I've had for quite some time and I just haven't played with it. And I don't know, these colors just are speaking to me, particularly kind of coming into fall. And I thought, let's just go ahead and do it. And what I'm going to do, since they sent me a palette I already have, is that I will use that as a giveaway at the end. So we'll talk about the rules and all that sort of thing at the end. But let's start with look 1 of this. So what I did was I took this shade right here, this sort of cranberry shade, and I put that on the inner third and the outer third. I then took this really pretty light pink shade on the center of my lid. I blended a little bit of that cranberry and connected that inner third and the outer third. And then on a 217 sort of brush from MAC, I took this brown, where is it? The brown matte shade right here. And I deepened up that cranberry just a little bit, and I took the brown beneath my lower lash line as well. And then I used this shade here, which is a matte mid-tone shade as a transition color. This does not have anything that I can use as a brow bone shade. It doesn't have a really light shade that I can kind of use on a fluffier brush. So I did, and I will have to bring into this 4 Looks 1 palette my Naked Basics. I just used WS on my upper lash, or my upper brow bone. So let me zoom you in. All right, so here's the look. The only other thing that I did on my eyes was I had a little of the Marc Jacobs Blacker on my upper waterline. I didn't do anything on my top line just because I wanted to have my lashes look a little bit longer today. So it's a little trick if you didn't know that. Tight line your upper waterline and no liner, and then your lashes will look a little bit longer. And for blush today, I used the blush from Camp Cosmetics in Delightful, which I find delightful. And then for lipstick today, I have a little mini Kat Von D Studded. This is one of the first ones that it is the first one I've had of this line. It's a little sample. And that's in Lovecraft. And then over the top of that, I used a little Buxom White Russian. For my second look, I used this shade right here, this beautiful gold, sort of little bit of bronze shade. I used that all over the lid. I again blended out the crease with this shade right here, which is just a nice matte mid-tone shade. And then I used the matte brown in the outer corner and up into the crease just a little bit. And then what I did was I took this liner also from Sleek, which is in Blue Moon. So it looks like that. Let me just give you a little swatch of it right there. I use that's what I use to add a little bit of interest to the eye. So I use that all over my lash line, smudge that out with a little smudge brush, and then on the outer corner, just to, on the outer third of that line, not being clear, I use this shade right here, which is, it looks a little more blue in the pan than I think it actually shows up. It's more like a blackened blue, very, very pretty. So I use that just to kind of almost ombre a little bit to the outer corner. Hopefully that makes sense. And then I used their black liner. It's in actually Noir, I think. Yeah, in Noir. Same difference. On my upper waterline. And all right, I think that's everything for the eye. So let me zoom in. So here's the look. For blush today, I used the NYX Single Blush in Pinched, which looks like that. And then on my lips, I used the Sleek Matte Lipstick in Papaya Punch, which looks like that. Believe it or not, it's very bright. So I put that on lightly and smudged it out and into my lips with my finger, and then to tone it down, because I didn't want, it is fall after all, I didn't want it to be so kabam. I took the Revlon lip gloss in Bellini over the top of it to just kind of tone it down and make it a really kind of pretty nudie peach shade. For the third look, I went ahead and used this sort of gunmetal-y blue shade right here. I used that shade all over my lid except for the inner third. I used the brightest shade right here on my inner third. I blended things out again with that same matte sort of mid-tone shade there. And then I used a little bit of the black which is the matte black right here, to just deepen up the outer corner a little bit. I took that gunmetal beneath my lower lash line and again used the black just kind of on the outer corner to smudge things out. And I think that's everything. Wasn't really, not a lot to it, so let me zoom you in. So here's the look. As you can see, I didn't use any liner on my upper lash line, but on my upper waterline, I again used the one from Sleek, waterproof and smudge-proof liner in Noir, $2.89. And then on my cheeks today, I used the blush from Sleek that I was sent, and it's Cream to Powder Blush in Carnation number 77. And then on my lips, I tried a couple of different lips. I tried just the lipstick in Succumb, and I just didn't like the shade with the look I had going on, which looks like that. I love this as a pretty kind of little bit deeper nude, by the way. And then I took that off, and then I tried the NYX Soft Matte in Istanbul, and didn't like that by itself either, so I mixed them together. So this lip combo is Succumb on my lips, and then I put the Istanbul over the top of it, and those are what the two shades look like. For my fourth look, I did a green and gold look, kind of Packer inspired, but you know. Fall inspired as well. So I took the shade right here, which is that gold shade, and then the green shade right there. I used the gold shade on the inner 2/3-ish, and then the outer 2/3 I used that green, and then I took the gold again and I brought it just over the top of the green to kind of help with that line. And then I used the same transition color to blend out the crease. And then I took this green shade again, whoops, pointing to the wrong one, green shade beneath my lower lash line and the gold on the inner sort of a third. So the outer 2/3 was the green, inner third is the gold. And then on a liner brush, I used the black shade, which is a very nice matte black right here. I used that to line kind of the outer 2/3 of my eye, and then I just deepened up the outer corner and kind of met those two up together there. So I will zoom you in. Okay, so here's the look. For lining my waterline, I used the Sleek liner. I will have everything listed below for you as well. I'm in my upper waterline and in my lower waterline. And I was trying to think now. I wanted to use some of the other Sleek products that I had in my collection. So I pulled out the Sleek blush. I used to wear this all the time. And this is from this line of theirs, which I think they still have. And it's in pomegranate, which is very pretty. Give you a little swatch of that so you can see there's some sheen to it, but not a crazy ton of sheen, but it's really pigmented. One has to be very careful. And then on my lips today, I used the Bite Beauty matte pencil in Glacé, which looks like that. All right, so let's have some swatches. There are the first 4 shades I'm going, as you're looking at it, bottom row and this side to this side. So that is shade 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see that 3 is that matte transition, what I'm calling transition color, so you won't see that quite as well. The last 2 in that row, so 5 and 6. 5 and 6 right there. So bottom row, and we'll call that 7, 8, 9, and 10. Glorious shades. So 7, 8, 9, and 10. All of those are one swipe, same as up here, except for the blue. I did that one twice. And then the last 2, so 11 and 12. And 11 and 12. So there's a good shot of all of them. Okay, so as you can see, and maybe you weren't able to see it, you never know, there are 3 matte shades within this palette. So the one that I referred to as the transition color regularly, a matte brown and a matte black, which are great shades to have in a palette. Of course, I wish there was a matte cream colored shade. So the only shadow, normally I try not to bring in any other shadows when I do a 4 Looks 1 palette. I don't bring any bases in. I try not to do anything but just the palette. But I really needed, in some other palettes, there's a sort of like maybe a champagne color or a bright ivory color that has some sheen to it, and with a fluffy brush I can get away with that on my upper brow bone without it looking crazy. There wasn't that sort of shade in here, so I did go to my Naked Basics palette and I used either Foxy or WOS, but other than that, everything else was within this palette. So I have to say that I'm really impressed with this palette. This sells for $11.99 on their site. Sleek is located, to my knowledge, I believe they are based in England, but they do ship worldwide. And as far as coming into the US, I know I looked on their site this morning to verify. If you order, I think it's, oh boy, yeah, over $60. I just looked to make sure. If you order over $60, it's free shipping. So if you have some friends maybe that, you know, you could kind of get together, place an order, whatever. But I just wanted to say, this is it's a nice palette. The shades, what is interesting about this is a lot of shades, particularly say like a blue shade like this, will come off a little more blackened blue than the actual blue. And this one is interesting. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. If I use it with a fluffier brush in the outer crease, it seems to come off a little more blackened. But if you kind of pat it on, then that blue really shines through a little bit more. The green, as hopefully you're able to see when you zoomed in, really showed up to be a nice kind of emerald green. That's what I would call it anyway, an emerald green. My only complaint is lasting power. I don't think that they last very, very long before they just start to fade. They don't seem to crease any more than any other eyeshadows crease on me, but I do feel like the colors just start to fade just a little bit. But I would say that doesn't happen until about maybe 7 hours in, something like that, which is really good. Most people have an 8-hour day. Not everybody has a long day like I do. So I think these are great value for money. So kudos to Sleek. I really like that. As a reminder, Sleek sent a palette to me, actually not this one. This one I had purchased on my own, but the palette that they sent to me, I will be doing a giveaway, and so I'll give that information here in a second. Every 4 Looks One palette, I try to remember to tell you what I use on the rest of my face because I keep it the same throughout the 4 looks. So the colors, the Revlon Color Whipped Foundation, Color Stay Whipped Foundation in 220 Beige is the foundation that I use. For concealer, I use the Rimmel Match Perfection beneath my eyes and on any, around my nose and any sort of little dark spots. I use the Tarte Maracuja concealer, which is one that both of those are ones I'm trying to work through. For primer, I'm finishing up the Embryolisse Le Creme Concentré. And bronzer, this is it. I'm done. I wanted to use this up and use it, like I said, for the 4. I'd like to keep them the same for the 4 looks. So that is as much as I've used. Done. For powder, I use the Smashbox Photo Filter powder in number 2. And I think, for mascara, in all 4 looks, I use the CoverGirl Super Sizer mascara. Jury's still out on this, but that's the one that I use. For my eyebrows, I use the Catrice Eyebrow Pencil in Date with Ashton. And I think that is everything. There are some other products that have become favorites of mine in the past few weeks through doing this from Sleek, and I will talk about those probably in my favorites next month. But all right, here is the palette that has been untouched by me, and it is again the iDivine Storm palette. And they don't even know that I'm doing this. I just decided to do it because why do I need 2 of them? So just go ahead. You need to be 18. If you're not 18, please get your parents' permission. Just leave a comment below that you are interested in the palette. Try not to leave the same comment as somebody else, otherwise that whole spam thing will occur. So just one comment. I'll pick the winner a week from today at noon, and I'll have that information listed below for you guys. And this is open internationally. I don't have any problem shipping to any other place in the world. That is fine by me. And I think that is it. So to that end, if you have a question or something like that that you need me to answer, I will do my best to come through and answer those. I generally don't answer comments, like every comment on a video where I'm doing a giveaway, because I try to keep it clean and just have your comments in there. So if you have a specific question, I will do my best to answer it. Otherwise, you can answer it on another, or ask it on another video, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. And I think that that's everything. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.